Hello everybody and welcome to another video. I know I did a jump eat video just this morning, but we have another one because there was an announcement on Twitter that seemed to suggest, I'll put the tweet on the screen, it seems to suggest that the next event is going to be a Bleach 1000-Year Blood War event, which brings up a lot of questions. I mean, I said it before that the chances are that they had an event based around the climax of Aizen's arc, and they scrapped that and broke up all the units and put them into different events because they wanted a event for 1000-Year Blood War. The timings of this totally make sense. We know the events are operating roughly 6 months in advance, so they made that decision that a Bleach event they probably had planned for January, because that would be a year after the Bleach event last year. They had that Bleach event ready for January, and then all the announcements came out about the 1000-Year Blood War anime, and they said, no. We can't. If we do that, then we're missing out. We've got to do a 1000-Year Blood War event. So we'll take those units, we'll break them all off, and we'll put them into other events. And then we're gonna focus on 1000-Year Blood War, which is what they have done. Well, it's seemingly done. 1000-Year Blood War event coming. Well, here's the thing. So I was gonna say coming this next week, but they specifically told us that Score Challenge is supposed to be coming this end of July. Okay, end of July. Typically in anime gacha games means the last day of July onwards. I think there is a very real possibility that Bleach is being announced tomorrow officially, but not necessarily going to be starting after the One Piece event. This is what happened with One Piece after Gintama. They announced One Piece, and then there was a week of like returning One Piece events, and they did a reprint special for Genkai Battle, and then the event came out alongside, you know, the teasers and the countdown and whatnot. I think we're going to see the same thing again, but there's no live stream this time, so why bother doing that? Well, the reason is I think there is a chance they're going to do the Score Challenge event as a 1 week event. They'll do Score Challenge, they will bring back the summer stuff, and this is just what I'm hoping. But bear in mind, this is pure speculation. The chance of me getting anything right is practically zero, but I figured this would be a fun video to do before they announced anything. So this is what I would do if I was them. Okay, we have this date looming over our head that whatever the next event is has to end by roughly the 12th, 13th, 14th of August, because we know that's when there was supposed to be a live stream and a Saint Seiya feature festival was supposed to be happening. Let's assume for now that that was just a complete and total glitch bug thing, or complete error by somebody in the team, and there is no Saint Seiya feature festival planned for August 2020, and it's certainly not coming from mid-August. The only reason I say that is because even if this Bleach event does end by then, we had Gintama, we had One Piece, we have Bleach. To then have another feature festival after that would be exhausting. So here's the thing, Score Challenge. I think one of two things could happen. One, the summer events from last year come back in a reprint, and then that Score Challenge event is like a new summer thing, a new summer character, and that will last the 1 week until the start of the Bleach event. So that will start on like the 30th or the 31st at the end of the One Piece event, and that will run until the 6th or the 7th when the Bleach event will start. What that will entail, I don't necessarily know, but like they've got a lot of options now. They've added a lot of characters in recent feature festivals where you could do summer versions of them. They've added a lot of characters, or rather, they've fleshed out a lot of series in a certain direction, so you could add a summer character that hasn't been added yet and stuff. I mean, some examples would be like we just got Reiju. You could do like a summer Reiju. Or I'm trying to think who else we got in. We got a few characters in Gintama. I'm kind of thinking they already have some seasonals. I don't want to give them more. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's options there for like a summer thing. However, I kind of don't want our summer event to just be reprints one new thing and be squished down to a month, or rather a week. I know part of the whole thing is kind of like the virus, so the devs probably have had trouble, you know, working on things the way they want to, but also, you know, having this event like it's summer, it's fun, let's all go out and have fun with our friends and family, when you're trying to tell people to stay indoors as much as they can, not travel unless they have to, and you know, maybe it's conflicting messages, or maybe it's not like the best idea for an event. And some people might be a bit like, oh, you put this massive event on and it's got all these, you know, cute anime characters in swimsuits and they're dancing around on the beach. I want to go to the beach, I can't go, so it's kind of making me a little bit annoyed or whatever. Just a theory. But okay, so let's say I'm gonna say if I'm doing this event, right? Starting from the end of the One Piece event, you give me charge of whatever they've got available right now. I would say this next week will be whatever score challenge is. They will reprint the old Bleach events in a countdown to Bleach event. We'll get that Bleach limited gacha we saw in the files. And then we will have score challenge, whatever that happens to be. I don't want it to be tied to Bleach necessarily, because Bleach is going to get a lot of characters in the feature festival. So just take that week, implement a character from a series that we just don't have, just something completely new, and we'll get what we get from it. Then that week ends. The following week is the Bleach Feature Festival, and then after the Bleach Feature Festival ends, a 2-week feature festival, then we will have an ensemble summer or ensemble milestone or ensemble sports or something event. That's my theory, simply because you can't, like, this many feature festivals in a row, if they were to have Saint Seiya after this, it would really be rough. And also, like, I know they're trying to spread out the content because of the nature of things going on, but it has resulted a few times in us being like, okay, there's no content. Like, I cleared everything. You can't have it go, like, you can't have too much, otherwise people aren't going to have time to farm it all. And they're not going to have enough stamina to farm it all. But there's definitely been times where it's been like 3 or 4 days worth of stamina, just like, I guess I'll spend this on whatever random event, like farming gold or farming skill XP or something. Like, it's a little bit of a shame. But okay, so what would I like to see from the Bleach Feature Festival? Bear in mind, it looks to be themed around 1000 Year Blood War, and that's an interesting arc to tackle because, unlike anything we saw from, say, One Piece or Gintama, this as an arc is an absolute epic. It's gigantic. The amount, like, just reading back quickly through the wiki to remind myself some things, the sheer volume of, like, new characters introduced and new plot lines being chased down and new concepts, all added in this one arc. And it's a shame. I know a lot of people have their opinions, and by the way, I haven't said anything so far, but there's going to be spoilers in this video. It's kind of unavoidable. The issue with 1000 Year Blood War kind of comes down to it was so ambitious, and then it just kind of fizzled out. A lot of the storylines didn't quite get to follow their course. The enemy was just far too powerful, to the point that no matter what, like, bullshit Ichigo pulled out, it was impossible for him to win. It didn't make any sense. And then, you know, he kind of won, but not really. But everyone gets to go back to their life, I guess. And then there's like, oh, maybe there's going to be a Bleach 2. Maybe there's going to be a spin-off or whatever. My my opinion on the arc early on, oh my god, there's so much hype shit. And this is what I'm hoping. I'm thinking, because this arc is so huge, I think we're only going to focus on a few parts of the early to early middle arc and not go to the end yet. And the reason I say that is because there's a lot of cool characters in the start, there's a lot of cool characters in the middle, there's a lot of cool characters at the end. So it's so difficult to pick and choose which characters you're going to put in. I'm assuming there's going to be 11 characters in this event, because it's one of these faux 3-week events where the event is 2 weeks, but we're probably going to have a countdown. Bear in mind, again, this is speculation, but I feel like we're going to have a countdown in the event. In a 3-week event, 11 characters is fair. 11 characters is fair. That's what we got from the One Piece event. And the way I would break that up, same as the One Piece event pretty much. 2 limited gacha, 4 standard gacha, and then 5 event characters. So, how do you choose? How do you choose? Do you know how many characters there are that are like limited worthy from this arc? To get things started, I think Genryusei Yamamoto is going to be the first limited of the event, and he is going to counter a Yuha Baha catastrophe. I think there's a very good chance that Yuha Baha that is, will get the same treatment as Overhaul, in the sense that he is going to arrive in his current form as a catastrophe, and I think later we will see him return as maybe a Genkai battle, but probably more likely a Unity battle, maybe like a year down the line, 2 years down the line, and it'll be his like degenerated form when he tries to absorb the Soul King and there's all the goo and stuff. So that's what I think they're going to do with him. But this time, I think he's going to be a catastrophe. And the only reason I say I wouldn't make him a limited, I'm not saying he's not limited worthy, but I feel like if you're going to give a Dark Hero a limited from Bleach, it would be Aizen. Yes, we already have Aizen in a Dark Heroes event, but if you're going to do a limited Aizen, it's got to be the dude, he's got to be in the chair. He's got to be in the chair, bro. So I'm hoping the next Dark Heroes event, we might see Aizen in the chair. But maybe not for this event. And again, like, we don't know for sure that it's all going to be 1000 Year Blood War. Because, like, Gintama, I think, picked and chose stuff from all over the place. One Piece picked and chose stuff from all over the place. Dragon Ball was a bit more consistent. But My Hero Academia, again, kind of picked and chose. Like, there's options. There's options. So, if they don't do 1000 Year Blood War, I don't know what we're going to get. But, can I just say, if this event is not a pure 1000 Year Blood War event, I want them to add Chad, because it's unfair. Like, if it's just 1000 Year Blood War, fair enough, because he doesn't play that big a role in this arc. But the fact that we haven't had him so far, if you're going to feature other stuff from outside of this arc, feature him, please. Just add him, make him whatever you want. Friend point, you can put him in the store. We know new characters are being added to the store, you can put him in there. Like, just do something with him, please. And that's another thing to consider. Like, during this score challenge that's coming up next week, like, assuming that is a break before Bleach, that might be another way they try and get people, you know, kind of excited about what will essentially be a dead week. It's not a dead week, but it's like, you know, it's all focused around one thing. So once you've done that one thing, you're done, sort of thing. So we might get some new characters added to the store. We might get some new characters added to the friend point gacha. We know the new characters being added to the store. We just don't know when or how or who. Yeah, interesting. So the other limited gacha, if we had Yamamoto, who I would make red, I'd make him some kind of burn unit. I know it's been done, you know, Tanjiro or whatever, but what else can he be? He's like the god of fire. What else can he be? I don't know. The other one I would make the Yachiru Unohana, which such a cool storyline from 1000 Year Blood War. Some super cool moments, some super cool fights. And I would make the first standard gacha Kenpachi with his Bunkai, but I would only let him, it would be like is it Renji who uses his Bunkai when he specials? I don't know. But it would be like a lot of characters where they have a standard form and then they transform into their Bankai when they use their ultimate attack. So that's what I would do, and I would have him operate as kind of a mini Unohana. And then technically I wouldn't have her counter. She would counter a catastrophe. I said Gremmy, because Gremmy is who Kenpachi fought. And the way I see it is she can counter him, even though they don't actually fight. She trained Kenpachi, and Kenpachi's countering. Listen, it's a little bit all over the place, but bear in mind, this One Piece event, we had, like, Kaido was a limited, but it was also an event, and we had Katakuri, who was a limited, or a standard gadget, but also an event. Like, they can mess around with this stuff. It doesn't have to be straightforward anymore. So, I'm taking that one. As for the rest of the characters, I went for Soifong, Komamura, and V2 Rukia in the standard gacha. And then for the events, I put Bambia Bastabine, Asnoot, I can't say it, Asnoot, and I put him as like a challenge stage, because I feel like we're moving away from having 2 transcendents per event. Like, you might have like a transcendent and then like another stage that's pretty easy to farm, which I think you could still do here. I think you could have a legend summon and have that farmable and make that a relatively easy stage as a surrogate for that transcendent. But like, you know, this One Piece event we had Catastrophe, Ultimate. I think this event maybe Catastrophe, Challenge stage. But then again, if we have a challenge stage, will we have a Unity battle? And one of the things I said for this event I thought I would like to see is a Unity battle Ichibei Hyosube. He kind of seems like a Unity battle character to me. I don't know if that makes any sense when I say it, but that's what he seems like to me, because he's, you know, he doesn't really, I would say he doesn't have any big fights. That's not strictly true, but it's kind of like, this arc is everybody versus Yuhabaha, plus, you know, everybody that's underneath him. So it's kind of, you can't have everybody countering everybody. It gets very confusing. But I think it would be kind of interesting to see him added as a Unity battle. And that would sort of make sense, because he didn't have a Unity battle or a Genkai battle or a Battle Rush or anything like that at the One Piece event. So we're about to get one of those during the Bleach event. And I put one of the other members of that division as the Legend Summon, Uetsu Nimiya, who is the one that helped Ichigo and Renji reform their Zanpakutos. So, that's a rough outline of what I would like the event to look like. There's definitely some changes I could have made. There was a lot of characters I thought, oh, that would be really cool to include, but I kind of thought, no, it's better to leave that for another event. Like, for example, I was going to include Toshiro, but then I realized, like, him turning into his adult form when he unleashes his, like, completed Bankai or whatever, this is not till way later in the arc. But in my head, it was, like, quite early. But I just forgot that this arc is just gigantic. So there's so much going on. You might have noticed, no Ichigo. Also no Renji, but no Renji because we actually already have the 1000-year Blood War Renji. We already have the 1000-year Blood War Yoroichi. We already have the 1000-year Blood War Shunsui. So, you know, we can get other Ichigos later, don't get me wrong. You could have easily put like a Ichigo in. Just like, I would have said if I was going to do it, I'd put a standard gacha Ichigo in, just so we have a new Ichigo in the gacha. That's like half decent, good unit. And that would just be him when he's got his new Zanpakuto. And then in an event later on, when they do Bleach Feature Festival again in a year, 2 years, whatever, you can have like the Horn of Salvation Ichigo. Or whatever. But Bleach kind of needs to... They've done this with a lot of series. They're like, oh, what limits do we get in Naruto? Naruto. What limits do we get in One Piece? Luffy. What do we get in Bleach? Ichigo. No, for Ichigos. Ichigo. So I think this event, much like a few of the others we've had, needs to put in a couple of limiteds that are not Ichigo. I would have been okay with him for standard Getcha, and maybe he will still be standard Getcha. I mean, he could still be limited. It depends what they want to do. But I think, based on what I've observed this year, I think they're going to do 1000 Year Blood War Part 1. Not Part 2. They're not going to move into Part 2. So if we were getting a new Ichigo, it would be standard Gacha, I think. Or some kind of free unit. But we already have a free Ichigo, so maybe not. But yeah, it's a little bit difficult to pin down predictions that are accurate at the moment, because they just kind of seem to be doing all kinds of stupid stuff. I didn't expect Bardock when that event dropped. I didn't expect I didn't expect Kaido and Kazuki Oden, I can tell you that for sure. Plus, they did add a new Luffy. It was just a catastrophe instead of an event, or rather a gacha. So yeah, it's a little bit odd, it's a little bit weird, but that's my rough guesses. What do you guys think we're going to see from this event? Is it actually going to be 1000 Year Blood War, or is it just going to be, you know, whatever, random Bleach units? And what do you think about the before and after this event? Like, are we just going to go straight into Bleach? Are we going to go, you know, is Saint Seiya still going to be there in August? Are we going to have this buffer week with Score Challenge? Is Score Challenge going to be implemented into Bleach? So many options. Let me know what you think in the comments. And that's the end of this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.